Today we'll be using your lacrosse ball to roll your erector spinae all the way up along the side of the spine, through the shoulder blade, and up to that very upper shoulder. We'll be doing this up against the wall. Now it's important that you avoid bone here, so we are not rolling on the vertebrae on your spine. We are right next to the spine, trying to find sore spots or tight spots. So you'll move in very small motions side to side and up and down, trying to find a spot that's sore or tight. If you find a spot that's sore or tight, hold it there for 30 seconds. Now I'm not holding it there for that long because that would make for a very long video, but make sure you hold it there for 30 seconds and hold it still. We want to make sure that we are not doing large gliding motions up and down the wall like this. Instead, we're really wanting to keep those motions nice and small. And go ahead and do this all the way up in between the shoulder blade and the spine, and then to those very upper shoulders. Breathe and hydrate after. Next, we'll be rolling your Quadratus Lumborum. Feel that erector spinae muscle right along the sides of the spine. It should feel like a tube. Then on the outside of that muscle is your Quadratus Lumborum. Start right below your rib cage. Go ahead and put that ball in between the wall and your back and use your body weight to find a sore spot. You can roll slightly up and down and slightly side to side, not using any big motions. When you find a sore spot, hold it there for 30 seconds and breathe. Repeat all the way down until you are above the bone. Avoid bone and avoid nerve. We're doing a kneeling hip flexor stretch. Keep that back hip closed forward and tuck the pelvis under. And then you can bring your forearm up to shield your face and stretch your hips away from your ribs. Hold this for 30 seconds and breathe. So showing you from the side, we don't want that back hip to open up. We want it to close forward and we want the pelvis to tuck under. This will give you a deeper hip flexor stretch. The arm comes up and the ribs come away from the hip. Deep breaths here. You want to feel this stretch in front of the hip flexors, above the side of the hip, and in the abdominals. We're going to be using your lacrosse ball to roll your piriformis, which goes from your sit bone all the way out to your hip. And then we'll be rolling your TFL, which is directly behind that hip. To find your piriformis, go up against the wall and do small motions up and down and side to side until you find a sore or tight spot. Once you find that sore spot, hold it there for 30 seconds and breathe. Now again, I'm not holding for 30 seconds because that would make for a very boring video for you. Once you find that muscle, try to carry it through a straight line, going half an inch by half an inch, stopping every time you find a sore spot, all the way out to the hip bone, avoiding bone and avoiding nerve. Once you get directly behind the hip, try to find a very small muscle right behind that hip called the TFL and hold.